Welcome back to Side Chat with Bohica Ice and Crouching Walrus, and everybody's favorite test pilot, Cobey Woby's here. Or
Hello.
crash test pilot, we'll call you that today.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to discuss premium aircraft and our basic opinions about which ones, and then we'll go into the packs that you can buy off the War Thunder website or on Steam itself, and which ones we personally think are the better deal. We'll be judging this aircraft kind of based a little bit off history and in-game performance, and if it makes you a douche for flying it or not. So we'll kick it off with the American tree. Each tree starts out with usually an ace or some type of famous pilot from each country. Those are usually given to, was it the first game you play you get a free premium aircraft, or
First game you win.
First game you win you get a free premium aircraft for that country. And then the Thatch's Buffalo is the first Buffalo you can buy. That's the famous Thatch and Weave pilot, if anybody's ever heard of that move, which you should if you watch Walrus's tactics video.
And everyone should.
And then
if
we
they have not.
And then we have the first plane, which nobody should ever fucking buy in this game, the XP-38G.
I have it.
Yeah, I have it, as people can see, because I have it right now on my screen. I guess, which one of you want to take up the bat for this one?
Buy it actually. The P-38's good now. Next in 1.39.
Right, but it's not a real plane.
But it's still a plane that never existed.
Well, yeah.
Ever.
And it's expensive as hell, and it's the worst.
In the Pacific Pack, which is the most expensive one, correct?
Well, it's the second most expensive one. It's a complete crappy pack. We'll get to that later. I love the P-38, which is why I had to buy it. It was a complete instinct buy that I immediately regretted. Because at the time of 1.29, I had to fight freaking jets with it, which, if you know where it's balanced now in the game, and you know,
or Doras, even worse.
Doras, yeah. So, yeah, long live P-38. The first one is after that's the KI-61-1B. That's what is going to be called a captured aircraft. And I guess real quick we'll explain. Premium aircraft are primarily made up of things called prototypes, lend-lease, or captured. Lend-lease was obviously between British and Russia, where the U.S. sent planes to their allies before they entered the war and during the war.
Versa.
Yeah, well, it's America. We helped the world. And then prototypes are obviously planes that never got into service. It was the first 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 built of that series. And then the captured is kind of debatable if they should be in the game, but the KI-61 is a captured U.S. plane. Yeah, but for the money, for 700 lines, it's pretty expensive, I think. But it is, in its current flight model, pretty dominating plane. It is overperforming, and sooner or later it's going to get nerfed. Probably 1.39, rumors have it. So, if you want it, I'd test fly it after the patch.
On the topic of that, it's not all premium planes are just captured lend-lease or what else did you say? Captured lend-lease or prototypes. Not all of them are like that. The TU2 and the PE2 series 205, those were production aircraft.
That's true. And
those are packs, though.
Yeah.
Right.
But real quickly explain.
I think so, yeah.
What you get when you get a premium aircraft is you get either, if it's a gift, which we'll explain that later, is 10 repairs, and then if you actually buy it from the game, it's 30 repairs. You get a fully upgraded plane as well, and then you get, as you see, some of them will have a reward bonus, like research points bonus 160%, and then reward bonus 230%. So if you want to grind, or, it's kind of pay to winish, but if you want to get through the tree faster, if you buy a premium account and then buy a premium plane, you'll rack up research points and lions much faster. The big problem, though, is that anybody can buy planes. If you're just starting out in reserve planes, you can technically buy a P-51D-20 and fly in Tier 4. You're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, you would get your ass handed to you if you did that, though.
So my word of caution is buy premium planes that are in your tier if you really want to become good at this game. I see way too many people do that, especially with the D-13s and so on. The next plane is the XP-55. Once again, you guys know more about this plane than I do.
2 of them were built, 1 of them crashed. Don't waste your money.
I haven't flown it, so I have no idea how it flies. But yeah, I don't see why it's in the game. Oh.
And some people don't turn off their phones before this. Well, Cobey, real quickly, explain to people what is give a little history on it. I'm gonna launch a test flight with it right quick. What's so special about this aircraft? Like the tail is the only engine in the game with a prop.
Yeah, it had a pusher prop on it. The first Canard airplane in the U.S. Canard is the little wing in the front.
It's taking much longer to load than I thought.
That's really about it. It's a really, really, really shitty airplane. Don't even waste your time with it.
Yeah, it's basically a Mercedes, flying Mercedes logo is what, I love that name people have given it.
With the Dodge Neon engine in it.
Yeah, it's not very good. If you're in love for some reason with it, I guess buy it. I'm not gonna tell you.
It is really cool looking. I gotta tell you, man. Seeing it in the games, I don't have it, but seeing it in the games, especially like when it flies over the top of you, it is pretty neat looking. But it's kind of a waste of an airplane.
But I don't see very many people doing excellent with it. I'm sure there's people out there that do well with anything, but I don't see people running away with it. The A6M2, which I actually bought, if people can see here, is a really good airplane for Tier 2. This is a U.S. capture plane as well, and I know some of these were captured in actually either 80 or 95% working shape off the Aleutian Islands and some other places early in the war that we used for testing. And so I believe that's what Gaijin used to kind of justify the implementation of the A6M2 into the U.S. line. It never, of course, saw any active, combat service.
It's great for use in simulator battles to just screw with the Japanese hard. Just kidding, don't do that. That's really...
I love doing that. Yeah, the A6M3, which doesn't quite churn as well as the A6M2, so the greatest thing you could ever do is be up-tiered with your A6M2 Premium against Japanese A6M3s, and then sit on their ass and just watch them completely flip out that they can't out-churn something. Yeah. Next tier is the XP-50. Cobey probably knows more about this aircraft.
I actually have the XP-50. I actually like it a lot. It was derived from the F5F, yeah, which is Grumman's late 30s introduction for a naval fighter. It didn't really do anything, but it became eventually the F7F Tiger Cat. The Army Air Force ordered some, and they put them into service as the XP-50. I don't know how many they were built. There weren't too many built. In the game, it climbs like a homesick puppy. Its climb rate is a crime. It really is. It's just ridiculous. The bad part is that if you look at it, it'll catch on fire and you'll burn up.
Same thing with the XP-38.
Yeah,
those two planes have a fire problem. And then we have the BF-109 F-4, which is a captured plane, and I would tell people not to buy this one because it does not come with the cannon pods that you get in the German tree.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I like cannon pods. I like cannons.
Go clean config, people.
So if you love the F4 and you want to fly America, I mean, you understand. If you hate Corsairs and you hate P-47s, I guess if you want a F4 to, replace those, I won't cry too hard. I hardly see them in game, though. It's
an energy fighter meant for people that don't like boom and zoom of the American tree.
Me.
Kind of like the Zero is meant for people who like turn fighting, and they just threw that in there for...
Alright, so Cobey's favorite aircraft. Okay, maybe I should drop my phone.
Jesus.
I won't even be that time.
The BTD-1.
Yay! I love it.
Yeah, you want to tell the history about it or anything?
There's not too much history. It's a very, very, very late war torpedo bomber. It was supposed to replace the SB-2 Helldiver, which is not in the game yet. That airplane was a big piece of junk. The problem is that it arrived late in the war. My dog just tried to bite me. Sorry. It arrived
very professional here tonight.
Late in the war, and most of the orders were canceled. I believe about 24 or so, maybe even less than that, were actually built and flew with the Navy. The Douglas Aircraft Company, who built the airplane, later convinced the government to use the funds from the BTD to fund the A-1 Skyraider, which is the best propeller airplane ever built, period.
All right.
Well, 28 BTD-1s were delivered. A little bit over 2 dozen.
Now, it has cannons to be noteworthy, and then you also... I know you love the air brakes. Every time you fly this thing, you just talk about its air brakes for days.
Yeah, even the air brakes have air brakes. Every orifice on this thing comes out of it. It's just absolutely amazing. It's designed to be a dive bomber and a torpedo bomber. It's got this really cool looking gull wing. It's just a really badass looking airplane. I like it a lot. And in the game, it's actually pretty good.
So that's one of our, I guess that'd be our first I guess it'd be our first American recommendation of a plane you want to buy that's unique. Would actually be the BTD-1.
A good grinder.
Yeah, if you use it right. I think I see too many people trying to go into churn fight mode with it.
Yeah, it's not a fighter. It's an attack airplane. It was designed to dive bomb and torpedo bomb stuff.
The one downside, no tail gunner, so you're pretty much defenseless if a fighter gets on you.
So next one is a P-51D-20. This is one of those planes that I kind of am leery about because it's only, we'll get to how much it costs later, but it's one of those planes that a lot of new players fly and they die because the Mustang is, and it is overperforming right now in the game, but it's 1.3, am I going blank here? Was it 3.3 now? Was it the one that was the patch that couldn't fly?
Yeah.
Or 1.31? Is that
one
far
of those
back now?
Two. Yeah, one of those two.
Yeah, Mustang was almost unusable, and if ever Mustang ever returns back to the flight model it had pre 1.37, you're gonna regret buying this aircraft because it takes skill to fly the Mustang, and I hope that someday Gaijin makes it back to, kind of the old Mustang flight model. But
Gaijin never, I don't know if they did or not, but they never officially stated that they changed the flight model, and I kind of believe that they didn't, because I think everything else just changed, and it made the Mustang seem a lot better because it didn't get those same physics or properties that a lot of other planes got.
There's nothing different from the D-5 to D-30 that we know of besides basic little adjustments, right? I mean, there's no night and day changes.
No,
the
it's not at all.
The same.
Yeah.
Dash 30 should have the tail warning radar on it, I think, and that's really it.
Yeah.
So
maybe the fillet. I don't even think it's got the fillet on it for the tail.
The D30 and the D20 also have the extended. Did you just say that the extended dorsal fin?
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit easier in the stall. At least it did in real life. I don't think it actually does anything in game. I think they have the same flight model across the board, but yeah, they're still pretty good planes.
Then there's the plane which I own, we all own, but it's Spitfire Mark 9 America. America.
I bought it before it was OP.
Yeah, this plane, there's so many things wrong with it. First off, we know the flight model. The damage model is a little funky on it. We'll call it that. Won't bash it too much because this is probably one of the most heavily used premiums in the game. And too many people are ground attacking with it head-ons. People do anything they can with their premium LF Mark 9. From a historical standpoint, as somebody out there knows this, U.S. never bought any Merlin 66 Spitfire Mark 9s, right? I mean,
there was never a Spitfire Mark 9 in this configuration that served with the U.S.
I found some history on the Spitfire Merlin 61 Spit Mark 9s being sent to the U.S. Navy for testing. That's the only thing I ever found about Mark 9s in the U.S., but never anything on the Merlin 66.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent.
Spitfires that we had were the Mark 5s.
Yeah. The one with the Spitfire Mark 9 with the 61, that would be the equivalent of the Spitfire F Mark 9 if you weren't familiar. That's the one that's earlier in the tech tree for Britain. So
this is, I guess we'll call it a pay-to-win aircraft, but you still have to know how to fly it. So if you're within, if you're still at tier 2 US, do not buy this plane because it doesn't mean you're going to have no success.
It's not going to make you better. It's not going to make you better. You got to really learn how to fly the airplane correctly. It is quite a handful, and you will get in trouble.
Yeah, it used to just be straight up pay to win because it was tier 10 or whatever in the old 20-tier system.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other Spitfire Mark 9 was like tier 14 or something.
So this airplane has a lot of bad juju attached to it. So, just you don't want that. Onto Germany. Everything Germany has is captured tree for the most part because nobody actually traded with them besides their allies. HE-112B-1. I actually can't recall ever seeing that variant in game.
I have it.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
I actually love flying that airplane. I love flying that thing. Pretty badass.
It's the same pretty much as the Heinkel 51B-0.
It is, yeah. I think the only difference is I don't really know.
Two machine guns, 2 cannons versus just one cannon.
No, that's
Maybe
the same.
that's what it is.
That's
Who
the
knows?
same as the
I thought the
last...
B-0 has. We're actually gonna have HE-112.
Yeah, 2 machine guns, 2 cannons.
look at
B-1
that.
in the
I'm
game comes
mistaken.
with the Hungarian Air Force markings.
I was thinking of the A0.
Yep.
Wellington Mark 1C, which I actually see this aircraft a lot because the Germany doesn't really have any good big bombers.
And just like in real life, they never really had any really good big bombers. They had one.
So
well, two, kind of. The
you want
Heinkel
to bomb
177
yeah.
and the Focke 200 Condor.
So Wellington Mark 1 might be actually a really good early grinding plane. Bombers usually get very good rewards with alone being premium and without the bonus reward. So I can see this if you actually want to grind through a German tree. This would probably be the aircraft to do it early on.
Jelly Willy has always been a good grinder. But the one problem with it is it's the same as the British one where you fall apart if someone looks at you. So, and that pilot snipe. So
yeah,
a warning.
So we have the P-47D Thunderbolt German, which I actually want to talk about for a while because this airplane has some weird stuff attached to it. And I guess from a standpoint of I would never buy it because there's so many good tier 3 German aircraft. I love the G87 G2. I mean, I'll use that before I use P-47D as a fighter. But besides that, you have the A5s, you have all the 109 G2s, the F4s if they ever get completely fixed again. And I don't understand why people would pick a P-47 premium over the 190 A5.
It's America.
Well, but you're in a German P-47. But anyway, this would obviously be a capture plane. But in the game, you see right there, it says P-47D Thunderbolt Fighter. For some reason, in the server files, it's listed as attacker. So it's getting air spawns with the bombers and the ME-410s and whatnot, the O217s and the Stukas, and most of the maps like Bastogne and whatnot. So you're getting this really big unfair, air spawn with the P-47D, while the American P-47Ds are on the tarmac. That should be hopefully fixed someday in their server files, where that won't have that advantage. So I guess right now it's kind of a pay to win. Also, I'll let you decide this or not, Walrus. I've had a fully upgraded P-47 D25 or D28 outperformed by the German P-47. Do you think the flight models are actually the same?
I haven't done any in-depth testing, so I have no idea. I've flown both aircraft. I can't say for certain that the German one outperforms the American one, but I don't know. It definitely performs at least on par, which it shouldn't, with the American counterpart.
Right. This was an airplane that was crashed, put back together, and then flown with. It's not. It wasn't loved, I guess is the best word to use.
Yeah.
And then there's the German LA5FN, which I see once in a great while. I guess if you love LA5FNs, you'd want to fly it.
That's too expensive.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go for that.
It's so expensive. That's definitely not. P-47 at 1,300 Eagles is actually probably a pretty good buy. The LA5FN in the same tier for, nearly 4,000 more lines. Eagles is pretty ridiculous. On to Russia, which has a lot of the Lend-Lease aircraft. Cobey, off your history, did the Russians ever have PBYs?
Yes.
Yeah, they did. They had a version called the PBN, which is made by the Naval Air Factory.
So was it built under contract, or was it built?
Yeah.
Okay.
Naval Air Factory was actually owned by the U.S. Navy. They pretty much took the surplus aircraft orders from manufacturers who couldn't do it fast enough.
And then we have this might be actually a really good airplane for you guys to buy for tier 2 is the I-153P, the Chaika with the cannons.
I have it.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
Glorious communism, comrade.
Rockets and cannons. It's actually a lot of fun. It's cheaper.
It's cheap. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's fun. Like, seriously, it's one of those planes we'll tell you definitely pick up.
I actually don't have it. I feel bad about not having it.
I just don't see myself flying Chaikas that much, but
I kind of feel like I'd feel bad if I actually had it though.
Yeah. Then we have the Russian P-40 E1, which is a lower battle rating than the American P-40 E1. see those very rarely as well. I don't understand it. It's actually pretty good aircraft. It's actually cheaper than the Chaika.
And you'll see these flying against your F2A1 Buffaloes because apparently the matchmaker thinks that there are no competent Russian pilots in the world, so they have to lower the battle rating to lower than the same exact plane for the American tree.
And let's really quickly look at this. I mean, this is what you have to choose from Russia from that early tier. Yak 7, Yak 1, MiG 3, Lag 3, LA5, or, IL-2 is actually the best fighter out of everything to its left.
Yes, it is.
So, if you don't want to fly IL-2 as a fighter because you feel dirty, which you shouldn't, the P-40E1 is actually probably a decent buy. And then there's the I-16 Wolf cannons, which Cobey probably has.
I do have it. It's a blast.
I have that too. I can confirm. It is a blast.
And then we have just to go mess around with.
And then we have the Air Cobra, Russian Air Cobra, which is historically correct as well. Yeah. Russians use the crap ton of these things, so I don't have any problems with it. It's a reasonably priced. It's actually cheaper than the iShack. I don't understand why these American planes keep being cheaper than Russian counterpoints.
3,000 machine gun rounds and a bunch of cannon rounds too. It's a lot of fun.
I'm looking at 3,000 machine gun rounds. Very good. 450 cals. Then we bounce to the PE2-205, which I have, and there's nothing particularly special about this plane, but it's an amazing grinding plane. And it comes in a pack that I'll recommend later, but that is one of my top 5 premium planes in the game that I don't see very many people using.
Yeah,
and then they had.
What it is it's basically just a PE2 with marginally better performance.
And and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's got a cool skin.
It does have. Well, I have the put it back on. It comes with the tricolor skin stock, and it has massive RP gains for Russia. I just think it's a good grinding plane, and much better than the normal P2. So there's that.
As far as rewards go, yeah.
Russian B-25J-30. I don't know.
Cobey has a lot of these aircraft.
I have a lot of premium airplanes.
That's why he's sitting here.
Just because I don't know.
You're an airplane nerd.
They're just more fun.
So also you refuse to repair your aircraft, and you have free repairs too.
Yeah, I think very true. And I just hate grinding to upgrade shit. I'd rather just buy one.
And that's how you fund this game. So the J-30. Did we know anything about B-25s in Russia? I've never seen a Russian.
The Russians had a lot of B-25s, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of them.
So it's another one of those Lend-Lease.
Yep.
Projects. P-63A5. It's I guess
these I kind of feel like they should actually be in the real tech tree of the.
Yeah, I agree with the P-39 as well. I agree.
Yeah, these. Yeah.
If anything, these things should be in a premium for America because America never even used them in combat.
So the A5 and A10, even though they're kind of overperforming, I think it's planes that we honestly should recommend players to buy. Due to the fact that it's better than most of the Russian fighters, and I mean, I don't know.
I would argue with that.
I mean, I know you will. You love Yak 3s and whatnot, but
they're all good airplanes, and they're all much more legit than than these things are.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
yeah. I mean, in 1.39, I think they're getting a new flight model, so you shouldn't feel dirty about buying these, at least in the future.
They should be well performed. They're actually late war, post-war aircraft too that are low battle rating, so they should perform well, like the Yak 9s and whatnot. But they should be, like I said, American tree. No, they should be in the Russian tree. I think a lot of people agree with that. The looking back at me is the outrageously priced FW-190D9 Russian, which is a captured plane. I think it's the only captured plane on this tree for some reason. For 7420 Eagles, and
that's a lot.
I think that every time one of these comes at me, I literally yell douchebag at my monitor. I just don't understand why you drop that much money on a premium aircraft. It blows my mind.
It kind of, to me, though, the fact that I see these things all the time, it justifies that price that people are still willing to pay. If these things were cheaper, then everyone would be flying these things.
But there's good Russian aircraft at that, like the LA-7s. I think for a, LA-7 B-20, I would rather fly that than the D-9. That's me personally, but people will spend their money, and I'm not going to stop them. So I guess that rounds up the Russian tree, and the best. I'm not recommending. Yeah, please. I lose respect for people when I see them in that. It's like the Spit Mark 9. It's bad, naughty.
Can we just get the boomerang out of the way?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the British tree next. The British tree has the best premiums of any country. Yes. Oh, are you kidding me?
There needs to be more. No, there needs to be more of them.
There needs to be more British.
Like a British Corsair.
Well, the Avenger is coming in the next patch, I believe.
I can't wait. It's the first thing I'm going to buy.
Alright, so I gotta focus. A little too excited about this tree. Havoc Mark 1, the most overperforming plane at its freaking battle rating.
Yeah.
This thing sees biplanes all the time. Cobey has one?
Yes, of course.
I have one as well.
I don't have one.
I think I have all the British premium airplanes, if I'm not mistaken.
You have a problem. I guess we should real quickly explain. Well, I guess Havoc is a buy. Yeah, say buy.
Absolutely.
If you want to have a lot of fun, but don't feel bad about feeling a little bit dirty.
It's giggly fun. It really is.
Giggly fun from Cobey.
Yeah.
Giggly fun.
You should have that quote on the actual stat card of the Havoc.
It's giggly fun.
Cobey was.
I will say though, it kind of sucks. It doesn't have a turret like the American A-20. It's got one dude in the back with a Lewis gun, so you kind of got to watch your tail a little bit.
It says on the card Vickers.
Well, same thing.
Yep, it's got one on the top and a ball turret, and one on the bottom. They both got Vickers guns.
So the next plane, which I am a fan of, but I haven't bought it because I'm actually cheap and I'm waiting for it to go on sale again, is the Warway.
The Warwow.
Warway.
Guess who has one?
You love the fuck out of that thing.
I do. It's a little shitty airplane. It's very slow, but you could put two 500s and two 250s on it, and it's got a tail gunner. It's incredible.
Got probably the best payload at its tier.
Yes,
in the
I
entire
agree
game.
wholeheartedly.
I have one too.
Yep. We're quickly explaining. There's 3 planes, which we're gonna get to the boomerangs in a minute, that are Australian RAF. Since the Australians don't have a tech tree in this game, they're being pushed into the British premium tree. When this game, another year or two, this tree what we're looking at right now is going to be so jam-packed with British and French planes, because, and probably Canadian, they're going to be shoving different countries plus Lend-Lease into the British tech, premium tree. So the British are going to have by far the best premium planes, all said and done.
Glad to hear that.
Warway's one of them. And then the Boston Mark 1, which I get comments almost every week now on my channel about how do I have it, where do you get it, whatnot. It was a random Monday on a 2 p.m. when I logged in, and people were like, buy the Boston, and there was a Boston on sale. It was a one-day only event. I don't believe it's ever going to be on sale again.
I have it.
You do have it because I told you to buy it.
Yes. Well worth the money. It's a Havoc on steroids.
It's a DB. It's American designation DB5. Am I wrong?
DB7.
DB7.
But I think it has the old A20 flight model.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
this thing
does.
churns.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
The best part about it, and like I said, if this thing ever comes on sale again for another day or whatnot, grab it. Rob a bank if you don't have money and buy this thing. Don't tell them I said that. When you get arrested.
Don't really rob a bank.
250% reward, research most points 124. That's a really good rate, and like the D520 right next to it has 180, 148. 250% rewards ridiculous, and you can rack up a lot of lines very quickly with this thing. Nothing at this tier can actually catch you besides maybe a MiG-3 and a few other oddball aircraft. You guys were witness that one night was that 5 MiG-3s chasing me around a harbor for about 20 minutes, and I'm just laughing at them.
Yep, I was with you in my Boston. Until some asshole shot me down, but that's another story.
So if the Boston ever comes back on sale for a day or whatever, buy it. Absolutely buy it. And I want to say, if Gaijin's listening, you want to make a crap ton of money, keep putting up random ass aircraft like this for one day, and you're gonna get so many impulse buys. You can buy that new vacation home in Stalingrad.
Especially if they're overpowered.
But that's how you get a Boston. It sucks because I know a lot of people want this thing, and I hope they do bring it back out at some point. D520, which both of you have, if I'm not mistaken.
I have it.
Yep.
You talk about it, because I don't know anything about this French
piece of shit.
Yeah. That's a good selling point. Good job on the used car salesman job, Cobey.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks. That's really all you need to know about it. It's kind of cool when you put the landing gear up, the antenna on the bottom of the airplane goes down.
That's all you need to know about it.
Yeah, that's really all you need to know. It's a pretty decent little airplane, actually. It's not that bad at all. It turns pretty well. Got one cannon, I think one machine gun on it. It's not very heavily armored. It's not very fast, but it turns pretty well. I kind of like it.
It's one of those planes that, like, we'll say buy because it's not overpowered, it's not underpowered, it's okay for what it is. It's definitely one of those planes you use as a challenge and to be different than the Spitfire. If you're sick of seeing Spitfires and Typhoons and Hurricanes on the British, that D520 is kind of that nice all-ball aircraft you sometimes see in matches.
Yeah, I'm constantly seeing stuff like Hellcats and stuff in it though, because it's at the same tier as all those under-tiered American planes. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a challenge to use because it's kind of in the same boat as like the BF-109E. It's like early World War II aircraft that are seeing stuff from mid World War II. So it is challenging to use, but yeah, it's fun.
Now we're on to my favorite aircraft in the game, the Boomerangs. And I originally bought these for arcade because they are just terrorizers in the early days of arcade. I guess real quick, Cobey, you want to give the history of the Boomerangs?
Boomerang was developed by a company called CAC, Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation. It basically is a whirlaway with the middle cut out and cannons and machine guns added. It was called an emergency fighter by the Australians. They didn't have time to wait for us to deliver them fighters, so they started making their own out of whirlways, which they were building at the time. Great little airplane. I love it to death. It's probably one of my favorite premium airplanes in the game.
It's an absolute buy for the buy 1 and 2, so you have 60 free repairs between both of them. There's not.
It's pretty much the exact same airplane.
Slight cosmetic differences that we can find.
It's got a white tail. Yeah.
Caucasian tail.
I think the exhausts might be different in the mirror.
Nope.
I don't even see that's.
Oh, maybe
anyway.
in the mirror. I don't know.
Stupid little stuff. There's not much, no engine changes or anything that we know about.
One's got heated seats.
Yeah.
Mark II.
Because it's so important in Australia to have heated seats.
I was just joking.
One has an extra beer can holder for your Fosters.
Mm-hmm. Fosters.
That would be necessary.
These planes, historically though, were originally used to fight against the Zeros, and then they became from what I could find about it, a kind of a ground attacker, and it did very well. Light, agile aircraft with cannons and machine guns. It did very well with attacking, tanks and infantry and anything, light targets, like Japanese targets in the Pacific Theater. Very agile, kind of soft in the damage model, but
What I like about it's got a really realistic flight model. It's very believable. You actually bleed energy in turns. It's so fun to fly.
It is. It's a blast.
And then the other British plane, which I actually used a crapload of. This is the plane that I used to grind through the British tree. It's the Typhoon Mark 1B, which I think is one of the other best buys you can get in the game. And it is a wonky flight model. Walrus is going to yell at me in a minute for that.
Did they get the takeoff bug fixed?
No.
I don't know. I didn't get to check in the dev server. They might have, but then again, they did in the dev server 1.37, so I have no idea. They'll do it eventually.
Typhoon was a very heavy hitter in World War II, especially kind of towards the middle to late with ground attack. It was a very good fighter, but it was an average fighter, I guess you call it. I wouldn't say very good. But it was...
Once it got fixed, it was better.
Yeah, it was really well known for attacking Panzers and Tigers and Bastogne and Bulge and using rockets, and it was a terror in World War II. And
kind of turned into like the British P-47.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a very good example. Good analogy.
Very good aircraft in this game. The only difference between it and the 1BL that you see in the tree is I believe it's some extra armor around the cockpit, and that's a different back plate armor. I know. I think it's different glass. And am I missing anything?
The 1B late has it has a bubble canopy.
And this one has the original car door canopy.
Yeah. That's all I know.
There it is. Yeah, the canopy change and the armor change. So, not much difference. It's a big buy in my book. Hellcat F Mark 1, which is another plane that we'll recommend. The British premium trees are actually all very good.
Have it, love it, fantastic. wish there was a Corsair to go with it.
And it's actually kind of battle rating is correct, and tiering is it's much better than the American Hellcat.
It's definitely an improvement upon the American one. What's the American one at, like 3.0?
I'll have to check our chart, but yeah, it's 3.0 or 3.3.
Yeah, 3.0
off the top of my head.
And the British one is 3.7. So the British one's actually more legit than the American one.
If you want to fly Hellcat and not feel like a douchebag about it, get the F Mark 1.
And it's better looking too.
And then plane that Cobey absolutely fucking adores is the Mustang Mark 1A.
Love it. Have it. Very first premium airplane I bought.
I'm seeing a trend here with all the British aircraft. Mm-hmm. Love it. Have it.
Yeah, really, seriously. I think they've done a really good job on the British tree overall. I think selecting these airplanes, the premium airplanes, I think they did a really good job, except the Corsair's missing, that's it.
What that damn... Well, they also supposed to get a B-25
there was also a British B-24 as well. They used the crap out of those things for RAF Coastal Command, killing U-boats. I wish that was in the game as well.
Trying to think what I was gonna say. The planes is overperforming at high altitude over the P-51. We've done some kind of internal testing. We haven't published any videos on that or anything, but it's another overperforming Allison American plane. But like I said, it
don't overperform. Look at the P-38.
P-38 does not perform. That's two Allison engines, and they cancel each other out.
Yeah, you're right.
What was I trying to say? So the Mustang Mark 1 was a ground attack aircraft, correct? For North Africa was the idea?
Well, it's served in North Africa, yeah. We had an airplane very similar called the A-36 Apache, which was a dive bomber that the Army Air Force bought.
That one actually got dive brakes.
Yeah, it did. It was pretty badass, and it had nose-mounted guns and everything else like that. The Mustang Mark 1 is kind of an offshoot of the A-36 Apache.
So, definitely a big buy in our book. And then Japan, which is kind of you're probably going to hear some very ugly things said about this premium tree. First one is the A7HE-1, which I have a problem with. The Germans were allies, not necessarily best friends, but they were allies of Japan.
The Japanese, I believe, were actually the first export customer of the Heinkel 112, so that would be correct.
Well, they said they also got a lot of they got random aircraft from Germany throughout the war, kind of here and there, and then they also got technology like cannons and engines and whatnot. It's a lot of interesting history to see how they smuggled the Japanese stuff through U-boats, through Japan for research. So you're going to see a lot of German stuff, kind of either cannons or actual aircraft in the Japanese trees. They never put the 109s and the 190s that you see in the Japanese tree in service. There were one or two that were delivered for either testing or, I guess they call it research for them.
I believe the A7HE-1, though, I believe that saw limited service in in the
30s, yep. Yeah. Against the Chinese, yep.
So next one is I hate this plane so much in the Japanese tree, is the Corsair 1A, which is a marine kind of variant of the Corsair. It's a capture plane, and Japan's kind of based, especially early tiers, on a turn fighting, defensive flying type of country. Low altitude, and then you throw a Corsair and a 109 and a 190 into those trees, and it just kind of messes up the battles. It changes the gameplay in a unpositive way.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of the American Zero in a way. It's meant to give Japanese players a different play style if they don't like the turn fighting style. So they give them a boom and zoom American aircraft. But really,
Boom German,
yeah.
or NG German. So I mean, I don't mind if they had just the Germans, but I don't like them getting the Corsair too. It's just it's odd to me. It's just odd to me. It's just all
I don't think any of those captured aircraft have a place in the game because none of them saw service.
No, that's another. Neither prototypes though.
Some of them saw some service.
Well,
no,
not the XP3AG.
No, that's not a real plane.
So the BF-109 E3, it's, I guess, don't buy the E3. The E3 sucks in the game.
Don't buy any Japanese premium airplanes. They're all shit.
Cobey hates Japan. Disclaimer:
Yeah.
Cobey hates
In
Japanese
case you
aircraft.
haven't noticed, I don't really care for the Japanese tree at all.
If I have to, I'll mute Cobey out of this segment. Cobey will not own any of these. He bought all the British trees and then immediately just screamed no, 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 no at his monitor when he saw Japan premium planes.
Pretty much.
The KI-96 was a prototype, if I'm correct. Yeah. It's like, what, 3 built, if I'm off the top of my head?
Something like that, maybe even less. I have no idea.
Yeah, was never hit service, but I'd have no problem with that being a Japanese prototype.
It could have been, but the requirements for the build changed, so they just dropped the whole project.
I don't know much about it in game. I see one of these once every 5 weeks. I don't see anybody running away with it, so at 1,600 Eagles, you could probably buy better stuff, like 5 boomerangs.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want something like this, you like aircraft like the ME-410. It's a heavy fighter for the Japanese, but except it has even more UFO-ish flight model.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. The German 190A5, which you will see a crap ton of in games. It's a good aircraft. It's not really tropicalized to my knowledge, but I guess if you want that type of playstyle for Japan, it's up to you.
Then go fly Germany.
Go fly Germany.
Seriously.
I just don't understand. Well, the Ki-84 is getting a flight model fix. Hopefully, that'll persuade players away. But the A6M3 is actually a good aircraft. I don't understand why. I would rather fly the A6M3s over a 190 when it comes to
Of course you would.
I know.
You hate the 190s.
Anyway, I don't hate the 190s. And then there's the A6M5 Co, which is a gift. I'll get to that after a while. It's a overperforming aircraft. It should be getting fixed in 1.39. Am I wrong?
I don't know about that one. The A6M5 is getting some changes. So it should be applied to the A6M5 code as well, though, because I think they're using the same flight model, more or less.
Real quickly to run through this, because all three of us have bought these packs from different places and these planes from different places. Best way for you if you want to make your dollar stretch through War Thunder is to only buy premium on the top right. For the more time you buy, the cheaper it is. You'll get so much more research points and everything you need from this game when you buy a premium count versus just buying the crap individually and converting XP. Don't do that. It's really a waste of money. Buy the premium count, buy a premium plane, and then get your research points that way. What was I trying to say? Everything you see on this game, do not buy it unless it's on sale. I can't stress that enough. Every premium plane goes on sale
all the time.
All the time. The premium accounts, I got my year of my year of premium for 3,300 lines off the top of my head a while back.
Yeah, I think I got the same thing.
And it's normally, it was cheap, 8,000 maybe.
Way cheap, yeah.
Yeah, normally it's 15,000. It was 50% off premium counts. I mean, they run some really good deals, so it's worth your patience to pick up this stuff on sale. I'm going to try and help you out a little bit and point out the sales. You'll see a lot of packages on War Thunder's website. When Cobey and I and Walrus started playing, we actually had to pay Russian prices, so we had to pay I guess you call it the currency exchange, which was not in our favor, obviously.
My credit card got fucked up because of it. Yeah.
So we actually wasted a lot of money early on that we could have easily got the stuff much cheaper, and that's hopefully we can, spread this knowledge to you guys. The there's a few packs that you can get on the website that you can't get on elsewhere. The first one is the Mustang pack, is $20.
Is that the Ace pack? Is that what it's called?
It's the this is called a Mustang Ace Advance or Mustang Advance pack or Ace Advance pack. I wouldn't get it from that website. There's a Peshka which comes by itself for $20. I wouldn't get it from that website. There's one called the Ultra Advanced Ace pack for $80. Walrus, you want to tell us about that one?
The Ultra Advanced one? I believe that's the one I got, right? The one with
that's
everything?
one you got originally.
Yeah, it comes with all the gift aircraft, like
not all of them. The D-13, the Typhoon Mark 1B, the XP-38G, the A6M5 Co, and the PE-2-205.
The vast majority of the gift aircraft.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
2 months of premium, which is, it used to be 3 months, but they reduced that to 2 months. It's still a pretty good deal for that. And then 10,000 Eagles. So if you want to drop one large lump sum of money on this game, and get a lot for your dollar, that's probably the best. I don't know.
Only 2 months now?
2 months now, yes. But it comes with 10,000 Eagles. Still, so yeah, it's a good deal. Or it's a decent deal. We'll call it a good deal. Let's call it a decent deal. The Pacific Advance Pack, don't fucking buy that, please. Cobey and I did.
Great deal. Buy XP38.
XP38G for $50 freaking dollars. I don't know what I was thinking. And now it comes with an A6M5 Co, which you saw when going through this video. I don't have, but I still wouldn't get those two aircraft for $50. Really I got really gypped.
Well, that was the first one you bought, right?
Yeah, that's the first money I spent on this game was a stupid Pacific Advance pack. Yeah. I also thought the single player was something that people play on War Thunder, but now I know don't play single player War Thunder. So those mission packs nobody actually uses. I tried them; they're average. You could play better games on Steam for cheaper that are World War II based, like Damage Incorporated. But anyway, you get 1 month of premium. Shut up, Cobey. 1 month of premium and 5,000 Eagles. Stay the hell away from that pack. If you do listen to anything in this video, do not buy that pack. Then there's a Dora Advanced and a Typhoon Mark 1B Advanced. So I wouldn't buy those from necessarily War Thunder. If you're on Steam, it's worthwhile to install your War Thunder files through Steam. That way when you buy packs on Steam, they get instantly activated on War Thunder. Reason I say this is that Steam only has 3 packs, but they're not the same. Well, they're mostly the same, but they're a little bit ranged differently. But Steam runs sales every Easter, 4th of July, Christmas, Halloween. They run sales all the time on this stuff. And I don't remember how much they go for. It's usually 25 to 40% off sometimes for the War Thunder packs on Steam.
Yeah, and they have random sales too. All the packs were on sale like 2 or 3 weeks ago for a weekend, just for no reason.
If you really want to stretch your dollar, wait for those Steam packs.
Yep.
It's a really good deal. The first one they offer is called the Mustang Advance Pack. It comes with the P51D-20, 2 weeks of premium, 2,000 Eagles for $19.99. I know I picked mine up for $11.99 when it went on sale. That's $12. And that's actually quite a bit for this game for the money. The other one I recommend is the Ace Advanced. I originally remember I got that one for 50% off when they originally introduced Steam packs. 50% off. If that sale ever comes up again, if you don't have this, absolutely get it. Typhoon Mark 1B, the PE2 I mentioned for grinding, 2 months of premium and 10,000 Eagles for $40. And, if that goes on sale, that's a hell of a deal. And then there's the Dora Advance Pack, which comes with the D13 and the 2 weeks of premium and 2,000 Eagles for $20. Like I said, 25% off. That's $15. Wade did not actually talk about the D13 for some reason.
The one that I didn't know I had for a long time.
Because I don't have it on my tree. That's why I completely forgot about it.
Oh.
So, yeah. Cobey, long story short, this is worth... I think our listeners need to hear this. Back in the great days of the Dora Spam 1.29, we sat here just cussing out Doras every night we played.
God damn Doras.
And Cobey had a Dora in his inventory for like 2 months that he didn't even realize he bought.
Didn't even know that I bought the damn thing, and I was just so pissed off at these Doras all the time. I was just getting killed left and right. I was so mad, and I went to look at it, and I'm like, holy crap, I own it.
I'm going to go fly a Dora.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
D13's a good plane. The problem, once again, is it's one of those planes that newer players buy the D13 way too early,
I'm gonna go own some noobs.
Yeah.
Yep.
On TFY aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
And it eats my soul to see, this is literally my reaction. I hit tab whenever I find my D12 or TA152 and I see 7 or 8 D13s on my team. I cry. Because I know
half of which
6
have
or
bombs
7 of
strapped to
them are...
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're just... It's bad. And like I said, it's not a bad plane, it's just the kind of the clientele of it. It's ugly. There's a couple other things we want to cover.
Buying a premium airplane does not make you a better pilot in War Thunder, period.
No,
it does not, regardless of what you may think.
You still have to put in the effort. There is no pay to win technically in this game. Any aircraft can kill any other aircraft in this game. There's no, it makes it easier, but you still have to have a pilot.
I don't think it makes it easier at all. It just puts you in a higher tier with people that have actually played the game, and it ends up costing you more time and more free repairs because you're going to get your ass handed to you.
All right, so let's talk about 1.39 real quick, and then we'll talk about next week's podcast. After that, I believe that's all we have left to do.
Twin Mustang. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Anyway,
and
so there's been
Spitfire.
Sounds like your dog's looking forward to it.
Yeah, Cobey's dog's really excited about the Twin Mustang.
Yes, he is. Aren't you lucky? Yes, you
are. So... Oh, God. 1.39 had some very good news yesterday, late last night. They actually, since our last podcast, we kind of went on a huge tangent about matchmaking. And some of that was based on the jets that were being pushed way too far into post-war and late-war props. Gaijin has decided to push the planes up from 7.7 battle rating to 8.7 now. So It's another battle rating to stretch them out, which hopefully should help the bleed of jets into post-war props. So that's a step in the right direction. I don't think it's going to completely solve that issue. I think it's something that obviously needs a little bit more thought, but this should help alleviate that, at least alleviate some of that frustration that's there. Walrus updated the battle ratings Excel spreadsheet that we had that was in last week's. If you guys haven't had a chance to look at that, it has all the current battle ratings and all the 1.39 battle ratings, so you can see how these jets are going to change in 1.39. And then I guess you spent some time on the dev server for the 1.39. If you want to give your opinion on that real quick.
It's looking at least more positive than it did initially. Some of the flight models are making a lot of progress. All of the zeros now have control stiffening, which is good. So there's gonna be hopefully no UFO zeros anymore. It's the same thing with a bunch of other aircraft. A lot of them have gotten the same control stiffening. So the flight models is making progress. The matchmaker, as I said, it got bumped up to 8.7. So hopefully they'll stop F-86 Sabres from bleeding into games with my TA-152. See what else? Yep, just it's looking positive. That's about all there is right now. Is just flight models and matchmaker change.
So let's keep our fingers crossed. Like I said, the world of War Thunder is not looking as bleak as it originally did with the preliminary 1.39 post, and it seems that War Thunder's actually listened a couple times now in this developmental build about what what its clientele wants, and I hope they continue down this path because I think this is the only way this game's going to grow.
I didn't even get to see that lead indicator or vector indicator or whatever they're calling it. Yeah. Because I got on yesterday or whenever you upload this.
Yeah. So they're actually, like I said, they are, right now they're back in they're doing things in a positive way now, which they haven't for a little while now. So that's good news. So next week we don't actually have any particular topic picked up for the podcast, so I thought I'd leave it up to if anybody wants to hear anything particular. Right now we're thinking pretty much 3 options. We could continue with something in War Thunder such as ammo types for airplanes, actual educational. Or B, we can do another game with some other idiots that we know, like DayZ. Or we could actually do something for the first time, completely off topic, and I know that these guys have been kind of wanting to do that for a while. So if you guys have any suggestions on anything you'd like to hear, like I said, either an off-topic, nothing that has to do with PC gaming whatsoever, ammo types for aircraft, or another PC gaming podcast on a game such as DayZ or Watch Dogs, we could do one on the other if you guys would like. Just let us know in the comments. And I guess you guys have anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I would. Go ahead, Walrus.
Ice is gonna kill me for this, but we have a really good guest if you want to pick DayZ.
Well, it's the same guest if we do do the off-topic podcast. I actually almost ruined it right there. Almost ruined that. Sorry.
Well, then let's do either.
Yes, we have call him the Village Idiot. We have a very special person if we do something off of War Thunder. He won't come on and talk about airplanes because special and he lives in the attic.
Without a stove.
Go on, Cobey.
I would just like to say, please spend money. Buy the packs. Buy the premium airplanes. That's the only way that this game's going to be around past tomorrow.
But buy the stuff seriously. On sale. And,
yeah, absolutely. Buy it on sale. Buy it through Steam. Don't buy it through the website itself. And just please support them. They've done a really good job with this game. The game, for all of its faults, is incredibly beautiful. And it's worth your time and worth your money. And
just real quick, explain something real quick before we log off. How Steam works, and actually, Fierce is around. If Fierce, are you actually still here?
Yeah, sure.
What's up? All right, everybody meet Fierce.
He's our Canadian friend.
Steam typically works by buying keys in bulk ahead of time, correct?
I believe so, yes.
So when Steam sells something on sale, it doesn't actually affect the developer money, right?
No, it doesn't affect the developer's revenue at all. Except in a positive sense, of course.
So, like I said, if you buy this stuff through Steam on 50% or 25% off, you're not actually taking money out of Gaijin's pocket. It's coming from Gabe Newell's pocket. So, that's just something to add in there. He can definitely afford it.
He's gonna starve, you guys.
Yeah, to be perfectly sure, you guys. I mean, all of those keys on Steam, there is a good arrangement between Valve and developers. So support Gaijin for sure, and they'll get their money's worth for sure, and you'll get your money's worth.
All right. So, like I said, leave a comment what you'd like to hear next week, and we'll catch you next time.